saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go.
We on fire, fire.
KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these communities, let it give them some range. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want. And it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, know what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach it till I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? And here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world on Smiley out of your media. The others tell it, but they truths have some limits. We got that food for soul, know what they feeding you. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. Police brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 of the nighttime, right at 9. Man, tonight is tough. And most of y'all already know what I'm talking about. I gave a programming note on last night's broadcast, giving a preview of what we were going to be talking about tonight. I intended to bring you information regarding the demonization of the black woman in the wake of the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez trial. It troubles me that Tory Lanez, or someone, has been accused of shooting Meg Thee Stallion multiple times and should easily be seen as the victim throughout this painstaking and public process. Yet and still, America once again finds a way to place all the blame in the lap of the black woman involved. It's a topic that begs for an expanded conversation on this show, and we will exchange discourse on it very soon. But tonight's topic just had to supersede any other, I'm afraid. Quiet as kept, I woke up this morning like I always do. I said my prayers before I rise out of bed like I always do. I reached over for my phone to see if I have any text messages, emails, or social media notifications that I need to prioritize like I always do. And I came across a report from TMZ, which took the air out of my lungs, which actually brought me to tears. And I laid in bed emotional, with tears streaming down my face, feeling sorry for a person that I never even met, like I don't really always tend to do. For those unaware, reports trickled out early this morning that Stephen Twitch Boss, known as the DJ on the Ellen DeGeneres Show, had passed away. He was only 40 years old. The So You Think You Can Dance contestant and Magic Mike XXL actor had allegedly died by suicide. Quote, "It is with the heaviest of hearts that I have to share my husband. Stephen has left us," Twitch's wife, Allison Holker, 34, said in a statement received by the Post. She went on to say, quote, "Stephen lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else, and leading with love and light was everything to him. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans," end quote. His wife reportedly ran frantically into an LAPD station saying her husband had left home without his car, which she claimed was unlike him. According to law enforcement sources, police later got a call about an incident at an LA hotel where they found Twitch in a hotel room alone with a gun next to him, dead from a gunshot wound to his head. I'm heartbroken. Ellen DeGeneres said in a statement received by the Post, quote, Twitch was pure love and light. He was my family, and I loved him with all of my heart. I will miss him. Please send your love and support to Allison and his beautiful children, Wesley, Maddox, and Zaya, end quote. Allow me to also officially send love from the Danny Mo Show tonight. And I can only imagine what his wife and children are going through at this present time. May God bless you and keep you during this time. Which brings us to having this conversation once again tonight. Which conversation do you ask? The one where we mourn the death of a young and successful African-American who tragically chose to take their own life. You see, DJ Twitch was a millennial, 40 years old. Some might say too old to not have this life thing figured out, and others might say too young to die. Yes, millennials are our smartest, most technologically savvy, and most creative generation. You've heard me say it multiple times, but let's not forget they may also be our most mentally fragile generation. A generation of kings and queens that not only are struggling with their mental health in 2022, but often don't have the resources available to them to help in keeping them balanced for the long term. Young black people have long been struggling, but today's struggle seems to be much different. From income inequality to the pandemic to fighting against daily bouts of racism, they're currently losing the battle by bringing a knife into a gunfight of a white man's world. As a matter of fact, a really popular series called Black Folk Don't on YouTube tackled this very subject a few years ago with a clip called Black Folk Don't Commit Suicide. A pretty interesting perspective, and cultural critic Torre kicked off the conversation. Listen.
If you get suicidal, which is human, and you add on top of that your community or society telling you black folk don't do that, then you have a double dislocation. Well, I'm even more of a loser because I don't want to be alive as a human being, and I'm violating the rules of blackness, and you're just pushing further away from being able to get the help and to have the perspective that you need to try to get back on track.
There is this pervasive myth of, strong black people and strong black women that sounds on the outside like it's something positive, but it's actually extremely damaging. Because what you do when you say, oh, well, all black women are strong or all black men are strong or whatever it is that you dehumanize, you take away the humanity of the person, and it can have, a whole population of people feeling like they don't have a right to their pain. And I think that it's time for us to drop that for ourselves because it hurts. And, all of that anger that we see is hurt. The anger is pain, and it comes out in different ways.
Hurt, anger, pain. Pretty much summarizes the black experience in America, huh? Twitch's death by suicide reminded me of the death of another young black man who just so happened to be in the music business as well. Actress Regina King's son, Ian Alexander Sr., just a few months ago. Just like this morning, I was also shocked to learn such a confident and vibrant young man had also taken his life. I was also shocked by the death of Mayor Kevin Ward of Hyattsville, Maryland, who died by suicide at the age of 44 earlier this year, and also Chesley Christ, the correspondent, model, and beauty pageant title holder who died by suicide after jumping off of a building in Manhattan, New York. Dead at the age of only 30. My heart still goes out to each of their families as they are likely still navigating through what has to be the most painful portions of their lives, because no one should have to bury a child. No one, regardless of the age of their child. Because my mother is in the process of doing that herself right now. If the circle of life remains intact, we are ultimately supposed to bury our grandparents and our parents before we leave this thing called life. But they say that seeing your own child in a casket is hands down the most insufferable tragedy a human being can ever experience. And we all need to keep every family lifted up in prayer as they attempt to find answers as to why their loved one is no longer with us. And that is the question tonight that I'm asking all of us. How? Why? What happened, and why does it continue to happen. Now, I want to once again preface this delicate conversation with another Danny Mo Show disclaimer. I got to. I'm not a qualified mental health professional. I've lost 3 friends by suicide over the last 3 years or so. That doesn't somehow make me some sort of authority on the subject. All I have tonight is personal experience within my own family, with close and personal friends, and real-life moments that have given me some perspective on this highly sensitive topic, so I want to be perfectly clear in stating in advance that my thoughts and opinions on this subject are in no way medical or mental. They are strictly anecdotal. Mine and mine alone. Because listen, even while Steven Twitch Boss was smiling when the lights were on and had just posted a beautiful anniversary message to his beautiful wife of 9 years on his Instagram page just 4 days ago, and followed that up with an impressive holiday Sunday fun day dance clip featuring him and his wife just 3 days ago. Many never thought a man that had reached such a high level of financial and professional success in the entertainment business with more than 3.5 million Instagram followers and counting could still be silently battling some form of depression. But as a lot of us already know, our history is peppered with men and women with enormous levels of fame, fortune, constant adulation from fans all across the globe. Black celebs that you would think would have every reason to love the life in which they live. Yet and still, the instability of their mental health drove them down that dark path of suicidal thoughts. And let me drop a few statistical facts on you that you might find surprising. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, suicide is now the 3rd leading cause of death for African American males between the ages of 15 and 24. And black men are 4 times more likely to die by suicide than black women. We are going through depression, no matter what many of us try to tell you. Yet it's never identified and diagnosed accordingly. Why, you ask? We've talked about it before on this show. Poor representation. We know ourselves better than anybody else, but African-American psychologists make up only 4% of the active psychology workforce. According to the American Psychological Association, the likelihood of having a mental health professional that looks like us is a tall task. And trust me, there's a problem. African-Americans are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult white people. African Americans may be less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages, but African American teenagers are more likely to attempt suicide than white teenagers. 16%, has 4.8 million of us, by the way, of African Americans report having a mental illness. 16% of us. 22.4% of that group, that's 1.1 million people, reported having a serious mental illness just over this past year. And for African Americans, the suicide rate has been on the rise over the last 10 years. Between 2014 and around 2019, the suicide rate increased by 30% for black individuals. By the way, that's pre-pandemic. We got a serious problem, y'all. In conclusion, let me put a little fear into the hearts of every person listening to this opening monologue right now. Someone you know personally is secretly battling depression tonight. Someone you know personally is crying into their pillow in a fetal position right at this moment in their bed tonight. Someone you know personally is having dark thoughts of suicide at random intervals throughout the day and night. And statistics prove that someone you know, either personally, professionally, or otherwise, from near or from afar, will make the decision to take their own life in 2023. And to further illustrate exactly what people are going through, please listen to Amanda Seals give her thoughts on the tragedy surrounding the death of Steven Twitch Boss and how a lot of us are really having a tough time getting through this thing called life. Listen.
Twitch's passing illuminates once more just the reality that this life thing is hard. And it don't matter how much money you have, it don't matter how much fame you have, it don't even sometimes matter how much support you have. There are things that are happening within that sometimes anything outside of you can handle. And it is so hard in the sense that no matter what you have, what we have as humans is uncertainty about what this life is going to bring us and about where we're going to go with it. So that's why it's so important to put so much work into finding solidity in your purpose and finding freedom in the unknowing. And for some folks, that's in religion, that's in spiritual practice, that's in their work, you name it. But check on your friends and check on yourself and understand that this ride is rocky for so many of us, and you're not alone.
Facts. All of it. Black lives matter, and black mental health does as well. Check on your friends tonight, especially the ones that appear to have it all, so that you won't be playing the shoulda, woulda, coulda game with yourself for the rest of your life because you failed to make that call. But that's just me. Tell me what you think, LA. What was your first reaction when you heard that Twitch had died by suicide? Shock? Sadness? Huh? Or have we unfortunately become numb and somewhat indifferent to recent suicides with all these celebrities, huh? Also, in your opinion, why would a young black person take their own life? Huh? A life that wasn't short of resources? And do you think posts on social media can ever be a telltale sign? And lastly, do you know anyone that has struggled with their mental health? We got a bunch of people checking in our socials that we posted on this teaser for today's program. I'll read some of those before the end of the broadcast. But do you know anyone that has contemplated suicide? Do you know anyone that has committed suicide? Perhaps a family member, friend, you? I would love to hear from you tonight. It's another night of healing tonight. Holla at your boy. Your voice has changed, your voice is the community. Your voice is on 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. You can also stream us via the brand new KBLA streaming app on your app store, iOS or Android. It don't matter. That same app allows you to send me your questions and comments that I will answer live at different intervals throughout the broadcast. Plus, like, share, and follow your favorite radio station live on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KBLA 1580. Feel free to follow me at Danny Mo Show on those same platforms too. Plus, me and my nighttime partner in crime, Robin Ayers, will take your comments via the ecosystem of our social network. Check this out. When we come forward, I will add another 7 series to add to the topic of conversation tonight. Look, you know, there's a big difference between being sad and being depressed. The problem is, sometimes we can't tell the difference from the outside looking in, especially with our black men. But this Christmas season is tough for a lot of the brothers, I gotta tell you. And ego tends to help them hide their true feelings, but I'm here to help. The warning signs aren't always obvious, and that's why we need to talk about it. That's why my 7 series tonight is the 7 reasons this Christmas season is difficult for a lot of single black men. They may be too tough to admit it, but I see it. And tonight, I'll reveal a few situations that I've seen. Stay tuned. Add to the conversation with your phone calls when we come forward. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show on Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Let's ride.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know that LA County Library has free Wi-Fi at all 85 library locations? That's right, free Wi-Fi. Now they also offer free Wi-Fi in parking lots at participating locations. Visit a participating LA County Library location, park in a library parking spot, bring your own device, connect to the Wi-Fi, and you're ready to connect with your friends and family, do some online shopping, browse your social media accounts, answer emails, do your homework, and so much more. You won't need a library card to connect, but you can sign up for one while you're there and get access to free books, ebooks, music, movies, and more. For additional information, log on to lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi, lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi. That's lacountylibrary.org/Wi-Fi.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Enter your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
At the Strategy Center, we have a lot to celebrate. Join us Saturday, December 17th, 12 noon to 4 p.m. for our annual holiday block party at Strategy in Seoul, located at 3546 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Los Angeles 90008 on King Boulevard, 1 block east of Crenshaw. Featuring food from Earl's on Crenshaw, Afro-Cuban drumming with Richard Marquez, and ornament making for kids of all ages, and more activities for children. Help us celebrate 33 years of fighting anti-Black policies in LA. We want free public transportation for everyone in LA and 50% of all public and private jobs set aside for Black applicants. Did I mention a live DJ and karaoke? You do not want to miss this. Join us on December 17th from 12 to 4 p.m. at Strategy in Soul, 3546 West Martin Luther King Boulevard. Visit our website for more information and RSVP to www.thestrategycenter.org.
California has millions of homes that could be damaged in a strong earthquake, and earthquakes are inevitable in the Golden State. An older home is especially vulnerable to earthquake damage, so you may need to take steps to strengthen it and help reduce the chance of damage. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com to learn about better protecting your home from earthquake damage. The work may cost less than you think and can often be completed in a few days. You've worked hard to get a home. Now's the time to protect it. Get prepared today so you can worry less tomorrow. Visit strengthenmyhouse.com.
Geico presents Daily Affirmations. Repeat after me. We are filled with an abundance of joy.
We are filled with an abundance of joy.
Also an abundance of questions. Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service to help answer questions and resolve claims quickly.
Good thing Geico has 24/7 claim service.
We are also filled with an abundance of biscuits.
We are also filled with, I don't think it works this way.
Oh, and jam. Don't forget jam.
To manifest more Geico in your life, go to geico.com.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California, and streaming live on the KBLA YouTube page as we speak. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about. We black in the spot. Another episode of the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. First on the scene, so fresh and so clean. Let's check out with the queen. Nah, I mean, hit it, Andy. Come on, let's go.
She's your queen to me.
Oh, boom.
How's that?
It was better.
I'm trying to get my energy up because I'm down. This Twitch thing's got me all messed up today.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. It was shocking this morning.
Are you like me? Your thoughts, no disrespect to his wife.
Yeah.
It goes right to them babies.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've seen multiple pictures and videos with them. And you just go, oh, my God.
Yeah, and they're so young. Or the youngest, I mean, I don't know how old the youngest is, their son.
Zaya,
but,
yeah, I don't know.
Or is it the daughter?
I think Zaya's the youngest.
She's the youngest. Yeah. Just a little girl. And it's just heartbreaking. I thought about the kids as well, you know.
Neither one of us are mental health professionals, but what do you tell small children?
I literally don't know.
You couldn't tell him the truth, could you?
That he took himself out?
You can't tell your kids that, can you?
I just don't know.
And if daddy ain't coming home, well, what you gonna tell him?
Here's the thing, though. This is what I've heard somewhere, and then I don't know what the truth is, again, because I'm not a specialist. But I heard that you're not supposed to lie to kids, and that they can take more than what we think they can, because oftentimes we try to protect them, we try to shelter them, cover them for what we think is protecting them. And then but you know, oftentimes if they grow older and then they resent you for not telling you. Yeah, so I think that could be the mistake that some people would make in not saying. You know, I think you can, again, my thing is that you can tell anyone anything, but you have to say it in the right way.
Could you lie to them temporarily?
I wouldn't lie to my kids.
You wouldn't say daddy will be home.
No.
Eventually?
No.
Until they get old enough to tell them the truth?
No, not at all.
You couldn't traumatize those kids by telling them the truth now?
Well, they'd have to learn to deal. That's the thing about it. We have to teach our kids to learn to deal with, you know, feelings, emotions, heartbreak, traumas, things like that. You get them counseling if they need it or whatever, but you don't lie to the kids. They will resent you forever.
You're right.
If you did that.
That is a tough conversation.
That is. I mean, the oldest daughter, I mean, she's you know, like I think a teenager, so she would understand. And even the middle child, I'm not sure how old that child is, but you know, it's just no matter what way you slice it, that's a hard conversation, but it's something that they would need to have.
Now, you know, there's a little something called copycat syndrome. Are you afraid that your teenager might take things a little too seriously and follow daddy?
I think that
committing to that act of taking your own life is a mental thing. I think that that's not something that you play around with. That's not even something that, you see some people who think that they can and actually cannot. You've seen that happen. People who think that they can because in your mind, you think that you want to end it, but they actually bring themselves up to the moment and they can't do it. The reason why is, in my opinion, again, this is not,
we're not mental health professionals.
Yeah.
That's why I prefaced this conversation with that.
In my opinion, it's just that they're not mentally disturbed enough to go ahead and commit to that. So I think that is people who are deep in a place that they can't get out of. So the whole copycat thing, not that it doesn't exist, I just think that that's not something you copycat on. You know what I'm saying? I think taking your own life is one of those things that you have to be in a place that hardly any of us could even understand. You may have even thought about it. You may have played with that idea. But again, I think it's something different when you commit to it, and that's a person who is deep in. So if you're not there, if you're not deep in like that, I don't think it's something that you would actually commit to.
I hope you're right. How about tell the kids in front of a mental health professional?
Yeah, or get a mental health professional involved in helping them tell the kids. I'm down with that as well. I just think the most important thing is to talk to those kids real. And remember that, I believe in talking to kids according to where they are, but also they will grow up one day. They are just minds that they have. They're little minds. They're still a human mind. They're still they're going to grow up and be an adult one day. They're going to remember certain things. So I just think the most important thing is not to lie to the kids.
Thank you. And people on social media, especially like on Shade Room and stuff, but he was balling, like he was rich. And he was. Why do we do that?
You can't do that, man.
We always tie happiness to material possessions or money.
Yeah.
Why do we do that?
I don't know. I think it's just this false narrative. People think if you don't have it and you've never had money like that, you think someone who's on TV has the money, someone who looks like they have a nice home, cars, or whatever, you think that they have all this money when a lot of people, and I'm not saying that's his or his wife's case at all, because I don't even know them. I've never even met them. But a lot of people I do know that are behind, that are trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with the look, and struggling. You may have a car, but you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Maybe you had it once, but you didn't know how to budget. You didn't know how to live, below your means, and things got out of hand, and now you're trying to keep up with it. But you have to keep that appearance up, right?
Still on social media, clickety click, click in front of the mansion, clickety click.
Yeah,
click.
And the sad thing is, you don't have to keep up with the Joneses, and you don't have to keep up with appearances. But people think that they do. They'd rather do that than be real and transparent. I was just talking about
Tyrese
some of the social
yesterday.
media, Tyrese, as a matter of fact, and Wendy Williams' son, he's being kicked out of his $2 million dollar apartment in Miami, and it's just like
crazy.
What's going on with these people who are trying to keep up with and live above their means? Again, not applying that to Twitch, have zero idea what their financial situation was. But, pertaining to the people who are like, oh, they were balling and stuff, you have no idea what their situation was.
Because people think that's where happiness lies.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because that's the furthest thing from the truth.
Preach up in there. You want to join the discussion? You know what to do. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. We got Chandra on the phone. We'll go to her on the other side. This is the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Right now, news and traffic. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Mourners are paying their respects to the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in Newtown, Connecticut. They stopped by the memorial today to mark the 10th anniversary of the tragedy that took the lives of 20 first graders and 6 educators.
Literally had to come in and chainsaw our way through trees to get onto the roads to try to do recovery and life-saving measures that we could.
That's St. Charles Parish Sheriff Greg Champagne viewing widespread damage in the New Orleans area after a tornado hit late today. At least one person is confirmed dead and 8 people were treated at a hospital in St. Charles Parish. Long COVID is responsible for more than 3,500 deaths in the U.S. That's according to new research put out by the CDC. Researchers looked at death certificates between January 1st, 2020 and June 30th of this year. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Don't let a traffic accident ruin your day. Call 1-800-INFO-FIX to find the nearest Fix Auto location. Their highly trained and certified technicians will have you back on the road in no time. You have a choice on who fixes your vehicle. Tell your insurance agent you want to go to Fix Auto.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley. As KBLA Talk 1580 host, we never quite know where the conversation is going to go. But sometimes our guests really surprise us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too. That's beautiful. What you say? So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We got a lot to talk about.
You're the victim of a car accident. Who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
Okay, so here's the truth about December 17th and why you should register on DionRamble.com. Okay, get ready. DionRamble.com and why you should register for a free event about contracts. December 17th to be with me, Rambo, and my special guest. First of all, if you don't have a lot of contracts right now, you need to be there. Like, the whole new year is coming in. I've been doing these events for a while now. Every event has over 500 minority business owners there. So if you haven't attended, you need to attend. And if you have attended, you probably already started winning contracts because the event's free. December 17th is a Saturday. It's only for 2 hours. My special guest can only talk up to 6 minutes. And these are the mayor's office, LA counties talking about contracts, the city, DionRamble.com. So if I haven't convinced you December 17th to come to DionRamble.com and register, I really don't know what else to do. It's all about contracts. DionRamble.com, DionRamble.com.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefits concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to
KBLA Talk 1580, reminding you when we fight, we win. Asian Americans Advancing Justice is the nation's largest legal and civil rights organization for Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. Founded in 1983 as the Asian Pacific American Legal Center, Advancing Justice LA serves more than 15,000 individuals and organizations every year. Their mission is to advocate for civil rights, provide legal services and education, and build coalitions to positively influence and impact Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and to create a more equitable and harmonious society. To volunteer, make a donation, or seek assistance, visit advancingjustice-la.org. That's advancingjustice-la.org. Or call 888-349-9695. 888-349-9695. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Andy, that is the perfect song for tonight. Let's go. This is Logic. Song about suicide. Took over the airwaves a few years ago. Listen.
I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine. Who can relate? Woo! I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine. I don't wanna be alive. I don't wanna be alive. I just wanna die today. I just wanna die. I don't wanna be alive. I don't wanna be alive. Tell you why. All this other shit I'm talking about, they think they know it. I've been praying for somebody to save me, no one's heroic. And my life don't even matter, I know it, I know it. I know I'm hurting deep down, but can't show it. I never had a place to call my own, I never had a home. Ain't nobody calling my phone. Where you been, where you at, what's on your mind? They say every life precious, but nobody care about mine. I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine. Who can relate? I've been on the low, I've been taking my time. I feel like I'm out of my mind. It feel like my life ain't mine. I want you to be alive.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. Tonight we're discussing the death of DJ, dancer, and Ellen DeGeneres Show musical director Stephen Twitch Boss, who tragically died by suicide this morning. Why do we continue to see our best and brightest take their own lives? And what do you believe are the determining factors on why the numbers continue to increase? Real quick, let's go to the phones. We got Chandra been on the phone for a little bit. Chandra, give us your height, your color, and your hood, Chandra.
5'5", Caramel, South LA.
South LA, check it in. Drop that. Come on. Yay. What do you think of this entire tragedy tonight?
Yes, when I woke up this morning and heard the news, I was in shock. I'm still in shock. I remember him from the Ellen DeGeneres Show. He used to be always smiling and dancing, and he lifted my spirits when I saw him dance. And I'm still trying to process what could have happened. You know, to leave his wife and 3 kids and go to a hotel with a gun and shoot himself. I can't fathom what happened.
Robin and I have been talking about it tonight, Chandra, and I'll bring it back to you, Robin. I think what she's trying to process and what I'm trying to process, we think we find the love that we need directly from our immediate family. You got beautiful children. You got a beautiful wife. Mm-hmm. He may have been very well financially off at the same time, but those babies, many think you got to stick around for those kids. Mm-hmm. When you take your life anyway, people struggle with that. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. You know, did you see Tabitha Brown's video today?
I didn't.
Oh, my goodness. It's something that you should play. We should just play that. You'll probably be in tears by the end of her video, but she broke down crying, and she said something that's so powerful, that life gets hard. Basically, when you become an adult, life gets hard. But for some of us, it's we don't think that that basically it's too hard to deal with. So we want to take matters into our own hands because we don't think that, it'll get better, but it will get better, she was saying. The love, the hope, see, for us who are not struggling with depression and things like that, we think we can give you enough love to stay here. We can give you enough. Just hold on. We can give you enough hope. But the person who's dealing with some form of depression or just hopelessness, there's nothing that you can do to stop that person, or you might be able to delay or something like that. But if they don't get help and they don't seek it, I don't think outside love is enough. That person, I mean, that's the thing about it, from the many things that I've heard, because it's something I'm just sort of like, fascinated is probably a tough word to use, but I'm just so intrigued and want to understand, the mind of someone who could take their own life. So, from what I do understand, there's nothing that anyone can do. It's just something they are dealing with mentally. And so it may look like a happy appearance on the outside, and we just simply can't understand because we're not in their mind.
And that's why I'm struggling with those children. Because I think that the first question they're going to have when they get a little bit older is, why wouldn't daddy come to me?
Yeah.
Why?
And I wasn't enough for you to stay around. There are all kind of questions that I could imagine I would feel.
Chandra, do you have those same questions, huh?
Yes, I do. And, one of his last videos is that he was very troubled about what was happening with black men in this country. He would, if you watch that video, I mean, it really, truly affected him. He just went on a rant about the stuff that was happening to black males in this country. And I just want to say, please, anyone out there thinking about this, committing suicide, there's a number you can call. It's 988. Very simple. 988. And they will get you help.
Thank you so much for that.
Chandra, we appreciate the phone call so much. God bless you, okay?
Okay, you're welcome.
Tough conversation. It's tough.
That is, yeah.
I've lost a few, and someone that very close to me tried. And I can't deny I was upset with that person. Because you want them to call you. And I made them promise me, if those thoughts ever enter your head again, you gotta call me first. They made me a promise that they wouldn't do it until they talked to me first. Because you want them to just, will you at least reach out to me?
Yeah, because again, we think that we can be the one to help them, save them, give them some sort of hope. I came across a video, a shocking video on TikTok where a man was driving and he came across a man who was on the sidewalk at night in the middle of trying to hang himself. And the man pulled over and he turned his camera on. I guess he wasn't necessarily filming the guy. He just had it on and it was like kind of down. And he was just like, man, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He was like, you don't got to do that. Just really trying to convince him. And the guy was just like, they don't love me. Nobody loves me, And I mean, he was literally, he was in the news basically.
Wow.
And, he was able to talk him out of it. He wound up giving him a hug. He was like, I don't know you, but I love you. And, somebody out there loves you and they care about you. And the guy's phone started ringing. He was like, see, somebody wants to talk to you. Somebody does care about you. They care, they're trying to call you. I mean, the guy broke down. He was just bawling in tears, so it's really just, what a moment, kind of miraculous moment that he was able to stop and see this guy about to take his own life, but you never know. You could be the one to help. You could be the one to...
you could be the one to have those thoughts, too.
And you could be the one to have the thoughts, yeah.
Saw those comments on Black Twitter today as well. That can never happen to me. They're going to listen. It could also happen to you.
Putting my critical thinking hat on, I know everybody's been saying this, and I do think that this is necessary. I think it's important to check in on your loved ones. But sometimes I wonder, if you do check in, the person who, eventually commits suicide, I feel like that person probably had already made their decision. It's like, is the check-in enough? Because they can go ahead and smile all up in your face. No, everything's good. Everything's good.
I hear you.
And then, the next day, devastation.
We've had the conversation on this show before where, you have a teenage son or daughter that's struggling with their emotions, and maybe they feel like you think that they're depressed when you see them every single time they come in the door and leave the door. Mm-hmm. And you go, I don't want to ask them if they're having suicidal thoughts, because you don't want to introduce those types of thoughts to them. But I think we also came to the conclusion that you cannot shy away from such a serious conversation with your child.
Yeah.
Just the possibility that it's something that's going through their mind. You have to broach the subject, man. Because if they took their own life and you sensed something was amiss and never said anything, you will not be able to live with yourself for the rest of your life. You wouldn't be able to. And I could only imagine people that are watching their child in a casket, knowing you could have done something.
So if you did check in,
right,
you did your part, and devastation still occurs. I mean, do you feel better about your? I mean, I
don't think better's the word, but you just have to do everything possible, man.
Just knowing that you made some effort. I think that that's the thing. You never want to have like the moments where you're like, I should have, I could have, had that conversation, and then wondering, would it have been different if I did say something, right? Versus not saying anything at all and then wondering, had I just made that phone call, or had I answered the phone when they did call me?
That 3 o'clock in the morning phone call from your friend that you go, they drunk again, drunk calling me. You sure?
Yeah.
You sure that's what that call was? 1-800-920-1580, 1-800-920-1580. I'll give you the 7 series on the other side. Danny Mo Show, stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Black music and entertainment OGs still making moves. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. First stop, Bobby Brown announces upcoming world tour with New Edition in 2023. Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, Ronnie DeVoe, Ralph Tresvant, and Bobby Brown. According to Brown, the group's bond is too strong to permanently break. In other news, Gladys Knight is awarded with Kennedy Center honors from President Joe Biden. The 7-time Grammy Award winner Gladys Knight, 78 years old, received the Kennedy honors for her contribution to the arts. And if you didn't know, the Empress of Soul will soon be releasing a scripted miniseries about her life that she is executive producing. And last stop, Mike Tyson and Ice Cube sit down for a chat, and Ice Cube reveals that he's doing what he can to regain control of the Friday franchise to, quote, make the fans happy. That's your K-Black Minute News.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
Special Needs Network Incorporated, together with Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, cordially invites you to Christmas Care Exchange in the Park, Sunday, December 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. Experience a day of giving, love, community, and support. There will be celebrity guests, arts and crafts, resource fair, and more. Come take a picture with Santa. Enjoy the DJ. This is a free event open to the public Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the Christmas Care Exchange in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. This is the season of giving, and the Special Needs Network, together with Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, wants to bless you Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be toys for all kids up to 18 years old. Children must be present. See you Sunday. Thanks to our sponsors, Let's Behold, The Butterfly Effect, and SEIU 721, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Niagara Water, Lakeshore Learning, Puck Schools, Crystal Stairs, Beach Cities, Beta Gamma Nu, Casa Lopez, and Los Fabulocos.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Strengthening the Black Village is a nonprofit offering free, effective Black parenting training to those court-mandated to take parenting courses, and we're open to others. Register for our February 6, 2023 course by calling 323-804-8469. That's 323-804-8469. Visit strengtheningtheblackvillage.org. That's strengtheningtheblackvillage.org.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to The Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA. Somebody just posted a video of Twitch dancing 24 hours before his passing. I mean, he is just dancing it up. So a number of you are in my DM saying that I need to hear this Tabitha Brown audio. I'm going to bypass my 7 series tonight. By the way, shout out to Gabrielle, who also said that she wants me to start posting my 7 series the next morning from the night prior. I can't do that, sweetie, for a good reason. I got publication plans for my 7 series in 2023. More on that to come. But you got it, the audio. Am I ready for this?
No. If you, I've already heard it, but it's still gonna be emotional. Tabitha Brown, the video that she posted today that took everybody out.
Y'all all right? I just left my son's last elementary Christmas performance, and I was like, oh my God, I remember him being in kindergarten during these performances. Every year I remember. But just something about starting at kindergarten and then 5th grade knowing he's going to graduate from elementary. I was so emotional. I remember my daughter doing the same thing, and I was so emotional. They sung the same song, Wonderful World. And I was just thinking about how small of a time that children are children. We only get a little bit of time to allow a child to be a child. And then we all grow up and the world gets hard. And for some of us, we feel it's too hard. And we take matters into our own hands because we don't think it'll get easier. But it will. And so hearing about Twitch right in the middle of my son's performance made me even more emotional and sad. Not just for Twitch, but for anybody out there who may be struggling right now because you feel that life is too hard for you. And I've been there where I thought that it wasn't going to get better. but it did. So I want to encourage anybody out there right now who you are thinking about giving up. It will get better. You just got to hold on and don't give up. Joy will come again. You just got to believe it. You got to hold on. You got to fight for your life, okay? Sometimes that's what it feels like. Sometimes it feels like you got to fight for your life, but you deserve that. You are worthy to be here. We need you here. We love you. And if it helps you at all, reach deep down inside and find the child inside of you that was once happy, and hold on to that feeling until you begin to feel better, until you find your joy again, until you find your freedom again. But don't give up. I love you. I love you. You are loved. You are needed. Please don't give up, y'all. All right? Very good. I'll talk to y'all later.
Yeah, man. That's Look, I know that's resonating with somebody out there right now. Somebody listening right now is going through the darkness as we speak.
Yeah.
And I am in no way ever going to try to minimize what somebody's going through. I am never going to say that your situation isn't a rough situation. And I hate when people try to make the correlation between, yeah, it could always be worse. Don't let nobody do that to you. Your situation is your situation. All I can say to you is, God is real. You keep your eyes up, I'm telling you, you can get through anything. If it ain't the kids, if it ain't your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, your immediate family, your friends, your job, whatever you're doing, if that's not enough, I'm telling you, you keep your eyes up, you can make it through. Because I'm here to personally tell you, man, without God, I've been in some rough situations myself. Without God, I'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
So reach out to somebody. And she's right, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make that call. Whoever you got to call to get yourself right, do that tonight. Not tomorrow. Do that tonight. And I promise you, if you're somebody that is struggling and you want to reach out to me or to Robin, Andy, other of us, you know, reach out. I will point you in the right direction. You know? Just, you wasn't kidding. That's rough, Robin. That's rough. She always is so good at conveying emotion on that microphone. There's something about her. I think we've discussed her before. She has found a way to take whatever needs to be said and packaging it in a way that is always stated perfectly. I don't know what it is about her. She's magical. That's why I'm not surprised that she has been just rising as fast as she has. She's got something to God. There's something about her. And her story is enough. And I guarantee you, when she was pushing that what was she, driving Uber for a number of years? Her and her husband were financially struggling, you know?
She was sick. She was all of that. And, but man, I mean, she's you know, the real deal. And that prayer works and belief in God works, you know?
That's what this is all about. And I hate to bring it up again, but it's my go-to. Y'all know how I do. Spending that time in that children's hospital changed my life. It did. If you see families standing around a child that is terminal, but still praying and still got the faith and everything, I'm here to tell you, man, it changes you. It changes the molecules of you. Because these children are fighting for their lives. And you appreciate life so much more when you see that, you know? And Just to know that some of those children inside that hospital were not going to make the month. And trust me, right now, literally right now, here we are. We're a week and a half away from Christmas. There's a number of children in that hospital right now. They ain't going to make it. And I'm saying to you, if you have the opportunity to hold on to what God granted you, it's a gift. These lives don't belong to us. They're on loan from God. Hold on to it as long as you possibly can. News and traffic now. A raw report on the other side, Danny Mo Show Stadium.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Mourners are paying their respects to the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre in Newtown, Connecticut. They stopped by the memorial today to mark the 10th anniversary of the tragedy that took the lives of 20 first graders and 6 educators.
Literally had to come in and chainsaw our way through trees to get onto the roads to try to do recovery and life-saving measures that we could.
That's St. Charles Parish Sheriff Greg Champagne viewing widespread damage in the New Orleans area